From Hollywood, this is Harrison.
In his first interview in 10 years, Olympic gold medal champion Ioannis Melssinidis is going to talk to us today about not only being an Olympic champion and how he got from A to B, but also the fact that he's been brought in by the Olympic Committee as special ambassador to the Special Olympics here in Los Angeles to run the torch, as he has previously in various Olympic festivals. This is a guy who has created an extraordinary life through certain odds, like many of us, but has also kept his Olympic life, his personal life, off the shelf. You also are a big fashion model, it turns out. I mean, you have many, Medusan snakes, lots of snakes of possibility, lots of tentacles in your octopus of expression. Do you like all these multiple metaphors? A Greek word, metaphor.
Well, I mean, even crisis is a Greek word. Yes, of course. Yep.
So let's talk about a little bit about the struggle that you have to do, the discipline to become an Olympic gold medal winner. This isn't something that Timmy decides to do on Thursday, and by Friday, he's a gold medal winner.
No, it can't be like that. It's a journey, and the beauty of all this more than 20 years of discipline, determination, fighting, representing your country, representing your sport, spread the message of the Olympic values. It's really, really beautiful. And if I have to decide between a gold Olympic medal and the journey, I go with the journey, of course, because the journey will you can get the gold medal. And it's really, really beautiful, and it's not for everybody. I mean, sport is for everybody, but a high-level sport like in artistic gymnastics or diving or swimming, you have to, even though you're very young, like 7, 9, 10 years old, you don't behave like 10-year-old boy. You are a soldier in a very nice way, and you are really proud that on your chest you have the national emblem of your country. And go to the Olympics, it happens once every 4 years, and it's the biggest and the most important event, human event, in the planet.
My name is Pt.1 Kosmidis.
And you have been training since how long?
I'm training from 5 years old. Now I'm 24. Also, my parents was gymnasts. Later, they are also trainers. My brother also, but he quit 2 years ago.
Your whole life has been doing this.
Yes. From when I was baby, my parents took me at the gym, like I was playing in the gym, and slowly, at 5 years old, I started.
I want to invite you on a one-time only special trip to be one of the first people to sail to Cuba in 50 years. With interior cabins for a week-long 5-star luxury cruise ship voyage around the entire island of Cuba with multiple port calls starting at only $16.98. Be among the first in 50 years to see Cuba while it's still the Cuba that people talk about.
From Hollywood, this is Harrison.
In his first interview in 10 years, Olympic gold medal champion Ioannis Melssinidis has emerged back onto the public stage in so many important ways. Let's take a look.
Won an Olympic gold and the admiration of his sports fans. Now, a Greek gymnast is looking to win a different kind of audience. 24-year-old Ioannis Melssinidis is giving up his sports career and his studies to become a medical doctor for a place in the spotlight. He's moving to the United States to pursue a career in Hollywood and on Broadway.
You will not like me. No. I said you will not. The gentlemen will be envious, and the ladies will be repelled. You will not like me now, and you will like me a good deal less as we go on. What I require is not your affection, but your attention.
Vidal's Caligula.
Here we are in an era where coming out is a big deal all over the world, especially in the United States. We recently had a Supreme Court, for the first time ever, make marriage legal in all 50 states, whether people like it or not. It is now a fact that humanity is humanity. It has a wide range of motion. And I think historically, certainly looking at ancient Greece, there was a wide range of motion with sexuality, wasn't there?
Well, yes. I mean, I'm sure everywhere, but in ancient Greece they were more open-minded. And also in Asia, in India. I mean, sexuality is something, is our instincts. They are before us. And I'm very glad that your Supreme Court decided, took this decision, even though that personally I'm very against the word and the idea of marriage in general. Either you're straight, either you're homosexual, bisexual. This is the, I mean, I love my liberty, and I don't think that people have to marry because the society or the church. You are with somebody that you love. Why you have to go through all these things? Well, in terms of hospitalization or taxation, or I can understand, but still I'm very against marriages. I don't say no. I mean, I'm very happy for this decision, but if you ask me if you want to, get married, I say no, absolutely not. It's not my cup of tea.
Guess I'm not going to ask you to marry me as much as I might want to. Here in the States, we love our labels. You could be bisexual, which means if you buy me something, I'll have sex with you, or you can be, quadrisexual, do it for a quarter, or trisexual, you'll try anything. LBGT, LMNOP, we rolled it all in, which is actually sort of a truth in the way the mammal, the human mammal, it likes what it likes. And it doesn't just like usually one thing, but it likes shades of gray and variations. Do you think it's an act of courage for somebody to come out and demonstrate to others about being congruent with your nature? In other words, pretending to be one person when you're actually someone else.
I'm very much against hypocrites, and there are many of them, as we know, of course. But we are in the 21st century. Come on, I mean, the freedom of speech is, for me, it's in the same level of the human rights about your orientation, about your sexuality. It's good that we have to stand up and fight for it, because there are many young people in terms of the human rights in sexuality, for homosexuality. There are very many young people that they committed suicide because, their society, they think differently. And of course, from my point of view, again, religious is really much connected to that. But I'm very glad the Supreme Court, that there are people, they think scientifically and not like in the religious approach. They took this decision, even though, again, I'm against marriages. But it's unthinkable for me that even that we do this conversation in our days. I don't care. I mean, what do you do? As long as you're an adult and it's your personal choice in your private life. So I have so many issues in my life and so many beautiful things in my life to think about it. Why have to concentrate to your personal sexual life? I don't care.
What do you say to people who ask you? Because I think people do. They want to know it. So what's your deal? What's your deal? How do you answer that? I mean, you're so brilliant the way you do it.
What? That's my personal, private life. So why people have to make statements if they are straight? They never do it. And why people, again, from my point of view, they have to make statements with press conference and, with full of journalists that they are bisexuals, if they're politicians, or homosexuals. Why? I can't get it. I mean, that's their personal life, private life, and I don't really care.
And as an homage, I wore my Spartan t-shirt.
Yes.
Just for you.
This is Sparta. That's cool.
I want to thank you so much for joining us. Ioannis Melssinidis, gold medal Olympic winner. First interview in 10 years. This has been a gourmet meal, a banquet of information and good, clean fun. And look forward to having you back on again, Del.
Thank you.
From Hollywood, this is Harrison.
He got from A to B, but also the fact that he's been brought in by the Olympic Committee as special ambassador to the Special Olympics here in Los Angeles to run the torch, as he has previously in various Olympic. In his first interview in 10 years, Olympic gold medal champion Ioannis Melssinidis is going to talk to us today about not only being an Olympic champion and how festivals. This is a guy who has created an extraordinary life through certain odds, like many of us, but has also kept his Olympic life, his personal life, off the shelf. You also are a big fashion.
From Hollywood, this is Harrison.